As of Chill Season 2023, there are over 100 weapon kits in Splatoon 3 spanning 11 different weapon classes. Some of these weapon kits are pretty busted and others try their best. So with all these kits in the game now, with more on the way, let's take a look at a few of the best and worst kits in Splatoon 3. Don't take any of this personal, by the way. Any kit can impress in the right hands, and they're all just pixels on the screen anyway. First up, let's talk about the Splash-O-Matics. You know them, you loathe them. Even now, after the infamous crab tank meta has fallen, there's still people talking about how amazing these kits are. The Splash-O-Matic is already a great weapon due to it having no RNG and a quick 4-shot kill, but to have burst bombs, which can soften up an opponent, and a special, which can basically turn you into the team's backliner for 7 seconds, you guys were just the LeBron James of whatever team you were on, doing anything and doing it well. During the start of the game's lifespan, it was normal to see at least 2 Splash-O-Matics in a lobby, and you know when the Neo Splash-O-Matic dropped, Nogami half wanted to see this make up every team on some illusion of choice nonsense. The hilarious thing is that if Tenatech Splattershot wasn't a thing, then this definitely would have been the case. People were debating whether Neo Splash-O-Matic would make T-Tech obsolete, so we were dangerously close to that reality. But luckily, our favorite little Splattershot was able to fend off the obsolete accusations, and now we live in a world where it's the primary nuclear superpower. Another one of the time periods ever is when the Splattershot Nova was released. This kit wasn't good or anything back then and still isn't now, but when people chose this weapon, their inner detectives came out. Nova players were averaging 6 killer whales, 72 point sensors, and 20.8 this ways per game. They were doing all of that just to feel something at the end of the match. There was even a Splattershot Nova challenge that was going around before challenges were even conceived. The challenge was equip Splattershot Nova in opening gammon and try to keep opening gammon going for the whole match. If you did, then congratulations, mommy loves you very much. If you didn't, then you acted like you were gonna get a very stern talking to by your math teacher after the match was over. Next, let's take a look at some rollers. After being shown in the earliest trailers for Splatoon 3 and then ghosting us for a year like that one friend in every friend group, we finally got our hands on the Gold Dynamo roller. But then we saw that it had Super Chump as a special and... Now don't get me wrong, Super Chump is an awesome special. After all, they are my offspring. But I feel like people were expecting something else on it. They were expecting a Booyah Bomb like what the Kensa Dynamo had in Splatoon 2, or maybe an Ink Storm or something. But Super Chump still ended up satisfying a lot of people and made the rest go, okay. Now one weapon I don't see anyone picking up is the Vanilla Carbon Roller. This is the second game in a row where they didn't give the Vanilla Carbon a burst bomb, like they're trying to give that thing an inferiority complex whenever it looks at its more attractive S-tier sister, with burst bombs and Trizuka that everybody loves repping. Zipcaster is better than the Ink Storm it had in Splatoon 2, but you'll still see most V-Carbon mains flying around like a flailing Spider-Man trying to splat you with that Carbon Roller. But hey, at least you Carbon mains can still try to use your main weapon. Something I can't say for this garbage. I swear, whenever I fight a Big Swig Express main, I feel like they don't know they're playing Splatoon 3 for the Nintendo Switch family of systems. The amount of angle shooters these guys throw make me feel like I'm just a living dartboard. They know that the main weapon's got about as good of an attack stat as a Shuckle does, so they're just taking their chances with the angle shooter. And then Ink Storm's over here cheesing like this because it knows the only other thing you're gonna contribute to the match is a whole lot of precipitation. Maybe Burst Bomb would be better? I don't know. But speaking of Burst Bombs, oh my goodness, we finally have a good S-Blast kit. This beauty has the Burst Bomb as its sub and the Booyah Bomb as its special. A far cry from whatever the heck this was supposed to be. When the S-Blast 92 came out, a lot of people were hyped up about its new mechanic to change its blast radius and range depending on if you jumped or not. But the moment that Beans kit was revealed on Twitter, every blaster main was staring Nintendo down for their tragic decision. Sprinkler and Reef Slider are the most disliked sub and special for their general ineffectiveness in a match compared to other options, so the S-Blast 92 getting hit with both simultaneously was just tragic. Now I've seen certain blaster players all puppy dog-eyed asking Nintendo for the past year, "Pretty please, can we have a range blast though with aggro tools like Kraken or Burst Bombs? That would be epic." Not naming any names or anything, just saying. So when the S-Blast 91 got Burst Bomb, that scratched that itch that blaster players had. And you can never go wrong with putting Booyah Bomb on a weapon. There's only one combo I like more than S-Blast, Burst Bomb, and Booyah Bomb, and that's liking, commenting, and subscribing. Listen, if you just subscribed, I wouldn't have to do stupid quips like this. Please subscribe. The brushes have been spared from the Abysmal kits for now. They do got one of my favorite Zipcaster weapons being the Vanilla Octo Brush though. There's the Vanilla Ink Brush that uses Killer Whale almost exclusively to laser down anyone who tries running away from them. The Ink Brush Nouveau, which will make sure you live your whole life in isolation, not letting anyone get close to you. And Nintendo's getting bolder with the weapons they're putting missiles on every update. Now, being completely honest, considering the paintbrush guzzles through ink like a pickup truck guzzles through gas, half the time the specials it uses will just be to get their ink back. But you really put the weapon that's the bane of some people's existence with a special that still makes people groan after half a decade? You already know how many trolls and gremlins were licking they lips the second this got announced, waking up extra early just to ruin others' day. Next, I want to talk about the undercover umbrella. This thing has just been abused and mistreated in Splatoon 3. Not only does this thing shield break if someone sneezes at it, but what are you supposed to do with this? The ink mine, I guess, can be used as chip damage, but they'll need to step in it first. That's a hard feat when most people are actively backing up whenever they see an undercover umbrella. Then after that, it'll still take 2 more mines or max damage sprays to kill them, and the Reef Slider's just there to run away. And the Splat umbrella don't fare too much better with the Sprinkler and Triple Ink Strike. At least its shield doesn't disappear from a bombastic side eye, though. I'm telling you, why is it whenever something bad happens, it's always these two? In fact, it feels like whenever there's hype for a new weapon, these two can just kill it on impact. S-Blast 92? Nope. Dapaduli's Nouveau? Nuh-uh. Dreadringer? Sorry. Like, it's always them. The funny thing is Reef Slider is only on like 7 weapons in the game, but due to the collective groan that everyone releases when a weapon's confirmed to have it, it feels like every new weapon in the patch has that special. They really need to find a way to make these more viable, but with things like Triple Splashdown in the game now, I think it's just time for the Reef Slider to move to Florida and retire. But it's okay because Sorella is curing the depression of Brella mains by just releasing better Brella kits. The undercover Sorella Brella properly chips away at opponents with the torpedo and splatter color screen, and the Sorella Brella is just one of the better Brellas to play in the game, with Autobomb and Inkjet letting it be more aggressive. At least both versions of the Tenebrella are pretty good, as long as there isn't a Splatana around to Ryomen Sukuna your existence. And last but not least, I gotta talk about this. This is the whole reason that I'm making this video. Stringer mains, what is going on over there? I know it isn't impossible to make decent kits with the new weapon classes in Splatoon 3. The base kits that we got weren't that bad. When I was asking for people's favorite kits, a lot of people were saying the Splatana Stamper. This is because the Burst Bomb does an awesome job at comboing with the main weapon's damage output. You do a vertical slash and then throw a Burst Bomb. Congratulations, easy dubs. The Zipcaster also helps to get into situations it wants to be in. You can Zipcaster above someone and then one-shot them once you come back down. So how did those same mines conceive something like this? The Reflux is a weapon that's always supposed to be moving around the map because of its relatively short range and the ability to store a charge. Splash Wall is meant to be something you stay behind for a few seconds when holding a position. These do not match. And we've already talked about Reef Slider a bunch, so you know that ain't helping nothing. This whole kit rolling up in matches looking like the Three Stooges. But you know what, Stringer mains? There's still hope for you guys. Maybe in 2032 when you guys get your 3rd kit, you might have something better to enjoy. The thing about Rock Bottom is you can only go up from there, right? And those were, in my opinion, some of the best and worst kits in Splatoon 3. Again, at the end of the day, Splatoon 3 is just a game, so play whatever you feel like playing, no matter what may be tacked onto it. In fact, if there's a weapon that you think I was too hard on or not hard enough on, then let me know in the comments below. And if you want to see me go more in depth about certain mains and specials, check out the playlist right there. I promise it'll keep you entertained for a while. I'll see you all next time.